Okay, we're going to demonstrate the use of the ripper. We're going to pull a slate out with the ripper. Go ahead. Okay, what he did, there's two nails holding each slate in. He reached up underneath and he grabbed the nail that was holding the slate in, and then he hit the ripper and pulled the nail out. There's the nail, the whole nail. You are not cutting the nails. You're pulling them out whole. When you use a ripper, you never pull up on a ripper like this. You'll break the slate. The ripper has to be held flat against the roof and kept flat against the roof. All the force has to be down parallel to the direction of the slate. Sometimes something breaks underneath there and you can't get it out, so you use the pointed end of the ripper. You find it, and then you hit the bottom of the ripper with a hammer to work it back. You can work it back and forth and break it off. But basically, that's how the ripper works. Okay, we just pulled this slate out here, and we're going to replace it now with a replacement slate using a slate hook. So we're going to demonstrate the use of the slate hook here for replacing a slate. That's it, huh? Okay, that's all there is to it. Replacing that slate. That's a stainless steel slate hook. It'll last forever. It's almost invisible. Copper slate hooks are better if you want them to be invisible, because a stainless hook will be shiny forever, but they also last forever. So either copper or stainless steel slate hooks are recommended, not galvanized. Galvanized will rust and they'll run a stain down the roof. So try to stick with copper or stainless steel slate hooks. Now we're going to demonstrate replacing a slate using the nail and bib technique, which simply requires a nail and a bib. Where's that bib? This is a bib called a bib flashing. You can buy these on the internet in our store, either in aluminum or copper. This happens to be 20-ounce copper. The slate's going to slide in here. The nail's going to go in the slot. The bib's going to go cover the nail underneath the slate. So Brent Uliski's going to demonstrate. Chipped out a little bit of space so the nail head can fit through that slot. The replacement slate is now in place. A single nail holds it. The nail head has to be set down in, which is why the bolt is used. The bib is bent slightly so when it's shoved in there, it's held by friction. That's the nail and bib technique. It's very common, and probably the most common slate replacement technique. It lasts indefinitely, and there's nothing visible. Before you can put another slate in there, you have to make sure there's nothing blocking it, which is when you reach around up there with the ripper, and if there's a nail or a knob or anything like that, it will prevent that slate from going in. So you have to reach around, or even a piece of slate from the old slate that came out might still be up inside there. You got to reach up around in that socket, make sure it's all cleaned out before the new slate goes in. If an old slate roof is nailed together with galvanized nails, then you should be using galvanized nails for the replacement slates. If the roof is nailed with copper nails, you should use copper nails for the replacement slate. If you're going to use galvanized nails, use hot dipped galvanized, not electro galvanized. Okay, let me mention a couple nuances to the nail and bib technique. When you're nailing through salvage slate like this, an older roof, I mean, you can put a nail right through without pre-punching or pre-drilling. However, if this is new slate and you're trying to put a nail through, you're probably going to have to pre-drill it with a 3/16 drill bit. On new slate, we recommend using the slate hooks. That way you don't have a hole anywhere in the roof. Now when the slate is really thick, say on a graduated roof, say the slate is a 1/2 inch or 3/4 or an inch thick, you're not going to put a nail through it. First off, you'll need a longer nail than the standard 1.5 inches. But secondly, you're going to have to pre-punch it, and that's where a pin punch comes in handy. This is a pin punch. You can buy these at any hardware store. You would pre-punch your hole, then put your nail in. That's on thicker slates. So these are just a couple of nuances that you might need to know if you're trying to use this technique on new slates or thick slate roofs.